That was bad. That was bad. But we're back. We're back after our derby hideout. Wasn't actually a hideout. Just Sunday. We just decided we weren't feeling like filming. Like it had nothing to do with trying to hide from the loss. It was just nobody wanted to get on, do whatever. Everybody having a lazy Sunday. But that being said, we're back now. We're gonna have to get into it, but we've got our whole panel. We've got Ian, fresh off of his win of the Ascoli jersey from IFTV.
Let's go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to put that on here when you get it. I want to
As
see
soon
it.
as I get it.
They're gonna send you the little kids one. They're gonna send you like the toddler one.
Man,
uh,
free kid's a free kid.
yeah,
Can't complain.
Christo one-upping Ian with a headband now.
I'm doing my best
Yeah.
impression of him, and unlike him, none of us won the Ascoli jersey, but we can share it at least.
I didn't even know there was a giveaway. So I mean, um,
That's why you only won.
yeah, exactly. But then we got Dave with the old head background back here, the Zamorano 1+8 jersey. I'm
Oh
really
yes,
digging it.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm just out here setting some bait for Lord Figo. Every time I have a shirt on, he wants to come and ask me for the shirt, so I'm sure he's gonna ask for this one. But I'm happy to be back, man. I'm happy to be back. Like you said, we didn't talk about the Derby. That's something that we're definitely gonna have to talk about in depth. And I'm glad that we have a win yesterday just to cushion it a little bit. So we can see things more objectively as opposed to being more reactive. So let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of worry after the Derby. Everyone's looking at the fixture list and like, well, where do you rebound? And I guess it was the best possible rebound. Like a minute and a half in, Dzeko gets a goal. It soothes a lot of nerves. But I guess we do have to start with what nobody really wants to talk about. We do have to start with the Derby. I'll start with you, Dave, and then I'll go. I think that's counterclockwise for me. So then Hersto, then Ian. How did you feel like afterwards? Was it like sky is falling, or was it just like the disappointment of slipping up for 3 minutes and that just decides your fate?
it's one of those moments where I was surprised, but yet again I wasn't, because we spoke about it on the pod, I guess almost every episode, at least every other episode, how this team, they're wasteful, and it's okay to slide, well, to skate through for the most part in the league. Of course, that's why we're in the position that we in. But in big matches and also in the Champions League, it's not going to be enough. You know, we were dominant for 65, 70 minutes out of the 90. We got one goal out of all that dominance, countless chances I could to mention. And Milan, they just got two balls bounced their way, and they scored two goals, and the match was over. You know, after that, I didn't feel like the sky was falling by any stretch of the imagination because of the way we played. It's not like we went out there and we got dominated, we were uninspired and all of that stuff. Like it was the usual Inter, but it's just one of those matches where it didn't go your way. Like we could, if we go back in the season, we could look at countless matches that we could have lost or we could have drowned the same way of just being wasteful, and somebody could have had a goal or somebody could have pretty much even beaten us. It just happened to be that time where all those things that we've been talking about that could have gone wrong. Andanovic being old, the defense being wasteful. I mean, not the strikers being wasteful, the Vry being not in the best of form. All of those things which we've spoken about at length in the podcast, all of these things happened in one day, and that's why we lost. The odds of that happening again are slim to none, in my opinion. So that's why I'm kind of calm. I'm pretty confident going forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this team bounce back after losses, and they didn't disappoint this time either after a loss. But Christo, Derby thoughts? No
Awful match,
thoughts?
awful second half. I mean, I don't agree with that. I don't agree that we dominated the 70 minutes that they spoke about. I think it was less than that. But I would say the majority of the match we were in possession and we had the upper foot. Um, we have been talking about our inability to score goals and our inability to, convert those easy chances, the Lautaro chances, as we have pointed out so many times. And we didn't convert those. What happened was, a few defensive mistakes, a few abysmal, positionings, and a lot of luck from Milan to score those goals. I just hope that we can bounce back off of that because Napoli, it's the next match. The weekend is huge, huge opportunity to bounce back. And if we win against Bologna, you still have 4 more points above Milan, more than Milan. So even if they won, or even us losing, that did not made them leapfrog us. So I just hope that we can bounce back to, and we will have a great match against Napoli because that's a 6 pointer for sure.
Yeah, I mean that was something that annoyed me was that if we had played Bologna or if we had been awarded the points, which I mean whether you believe that should have happened or not. If there had been those 3 points there, no one would have been talking about this as massively as they are. Looking at the table, seeing 1 point of difference between the two teams, that was really annoying. Ian, I'm gonna wrap up the derby disappointments, and then we'll see what everyone has to say in the comments, so they can have their
Yeah,
say
it's
as
been
well.
disappointing. Yeah, as I see Mattia here speaking his thoughts on Interpol. Like, I mean, the first, what, 55, 60 minutes or so were really, really good, I think. Like, it was probably some of the best liquid football and pressing we've seen from this team. Just the end product, which is, the thing we've been talking about the whole season. I think like sooner or later, Lautaro and Dzeko were going to run out of luck. Both hit the same mental block in one day. It was inevitable to happen. Seeming how streaky they both are with their scoring, like they score for three games straight, and then like 5 games nothing. So other than that, like I mean, the first 55, 60 minutes were great for me. The until the end, it was abysmal. I wanted to gouge my eyes out. It was really bad. I mean, first of all, Teo Hernandez, fuck you. I really despise that guy now. He is he's just a little brat, a little shit. I just want to strangle him, but okay, let's leave that for later. No, but yeah, it just seems like we didn't have an answer to what Milan were doing. We didn't have an answer for either their press or their creativity. That was something that kind of bothered me. And it seemed like with Conte gone, like we kind of lacked the killer instinct. I don't know. Seems like with Inzaghi, everything's a bit more relaxed, even when it shouldn't be. I don't know. If some players wanted, they could have like mentally put themselves over. But look, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, undone by a few bad minutes. I thought that we played really well for most of the match, and like all of you kind of alluded to, it was the stars aligning of the three flaws that we talk about the most with this Inter team. It's the goalkeeper. It's like just 1 or 2 moments of bad positioning by the defense, and then it's the strikers not striking, and all of that lined up. And there we were. Here we are now. I want to get to this too. Mr. Jesus. Her still with the '80s fashion. Yeah, it almost looks a little cheetah print ish. Digging it.
Maybe I'm trying to lure some players in instead of signing for the rivals. But what Ian said made a lot of sense. We have pointed out towards the importance of having a player like Teo Hernandez like a few weeks ago, a player that can make something out of nothing, in the sense that he knows how to fall, and he was falling a lot.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I think that was one of the main and key difference makers. Which sadly or not, it's a mean to win a match, and they did achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Another point, as Mike said, we spoke about the variety too. He seemed like he wasn't in his head, in his mind. He wasn't 100% here, and he was the one that made a crucial mistake, as well as Handanovic. But I think everything that we have said so far, it was building up, and it turned out to be at least some of it true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to add. I feel like, of course, um, the derby it turned on its head pretty much when Inzaghi started making his substitutions.
They were too
You know,
early.
so yeah, they were too early, and also in the nature of the substitutions themselves. You know, Hakan, you don't take him off the way this guy was playing, especially with what you have as a replacement. I understand that he's naturally attacking midfielder and he's playing out of position as a mezzala, and sometimes the work that he does, all the running, all the tackling, all that, it takes energy out of him, and he may be tired towards ends of matches. But this is not the match that you take this guy off, regardless of whether he has a yellow card or not. I mean, it's a derby. This is a match that is full of intensity and full of challenges. So I'm sure that having one of your midfielders with a yellow card is not a cause of alarm to go ahead and go panic mode and make sure you have to take him off, or he's going to get sent off. And guess who you put on when you take him off? You put on Arturo Vidal. So this is a guy that's reliable to get mad and get a straight red. Fuck being on the yellow. But his substitutions were very disappointing. So I don't want to say that we didn't have an answer for what Milan were doing or their press or whatever. They were not doing anything amazing in my opinion. Again, like I just saw that they had those two attacks. Everything else was pretty much basic football or nothing elaborate at all. So that's why it kind of stings a little more. Just losing a match. It's literally losing it. We lost it as opposed to them. Beating us. You don't feel like when you lose a match. For example, in the match we lost against Real Madrid, nobody was out here feeling too sour because at the end of the day they showed their class. We lost to a goal from Tony Cruz, and that second goal was beautiful as well. But when you lose a match where you don't feel like you're the second best and you feel like you made mistakes, it does linger a little longer. I guess all in all, we're lucky that the squad showed that they reacted the best way possible. It's not a league match, but of course a Copa match. The next time you come out, the next time you play, you show that you're motivated, and from the first minute, second minute, scoring a goal. What else can you ask from a team? I'm just more that much more confident of Napoli right now.
Yeah, I mean, the core of this team is something I've never been worried about mentality wise. Like, we know all
Mhm.
of these guys are, a lot of them are veterans, all of them are professionals. They 90% of them know what it takes to win, have won, have been there in the big moments now. So
Mhm.
that wasn't as much an issue to me as just worrying about, whether or not we were going to keep on this like scoring drought of like one goal and then sitting back. But I mean, even against Roma, there were times that we looked like, straight up conserving energy, which I mean, still makes sense at this point. I mean, we're still looking ahead, but yeah, I thought the subs were too early. DeMarco on for Perisic, that's where I started really getting worried. And if you notice, we haven't seen DeMarco since. He didn't start in the Copa. He didn't come on in the Copa. Darmian ended up shifting to the left. D'Ambrosio played at the center of defense when Bastoni went down. Skriniar went to the left. Like, I think it's gonna take some time for DeMarco to earn that trust back. It looks like, and going into this thing. And I wanted to point out this comment that I've had up for a while from Mattia. I really do agree with this, that this team has shown that they're much better when they're trailing, at least in the league. Because
Mhm.
when you look at early in the season, there was the Fiorentina match, Sassuolo. I think there were a couple more where we were playing from behind, and when you got to the second half, Hellas Verona was another one, and this team was just overwhelming. But when we take that lead first, it seems like the intensity doesn't stay as high. Um,
Mhm.
it seems like the attack, which already isn't razor sharp, loses
Yeah.
even a little bit more sharpness. I don't know what's up with that. Any of you guys can take that if you wanna add
I,
on or give me
I think
something.
I want to add on something real quick. I think it's also a matter of when we're actually trailing, because for example, if we concede in the first half, for the most part, I'm sure we all feel like, okay, at the very least, we're gonna come back in the game and score a goal and tie, But the last match against Milan, the derby, I don't know about you guys. I can't speak for you guys, but me personally, at the time that the second goal went in, when Handanovic just pretty much flopped it in, I knew that that game was over because when you look at the pitch, it's like Inzaghi already broke the team. Like he already packed everything in. You don't have Hakan, you don't have Perisic, which I guess was the only excusable sub in my opinion because apparently he asked to be subbed off. So I was upset about that. That's something that I didn't know. I was wrong about that. But everything else is something that he pretty much dropped the ball on. Um, but yeah, that was just my long-winded way of just saying that, hey, when you look at the team and you see you don't have Hakan out there, you don't have Perisic, and then I think he subs off Brozo despite
Yeah.
us being down 2-1 to bring on who? Vecino. Like, so at that point, like I don't think that nobody expected us to even chase any league or come back. The only chances we had, it was DeMarco just pretty much floating balls in the atmosphere. So other than that, it's like nobody really had hope. So I guess it's a matter of if we're trailing early and we still have our first team in, we know that we could create chances. We know that we're gonna create goal. We know that if we have the urgency of okay, we're trailing, we're gonna find a way to score. But if we already packed it in, then it's pretty much nothing that we can do about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, once we don't have, the playmaking depth. I mean, a lot of teams don't unless you're,
Mm,
one of the most rich teams in the world where you have three full first teams on your bench. I mean, we don't have that.
yeah.
Um, so once you start packing it in, you better 100% be packing it in, putting 10 in the box. Nobody better be scoring against you because you're kneecapping yourself in a way to try to
Mm.
give yourself some stability, some security at the back.
So do
Um,
you think do you think then because of that, just piggybacking off what you said about the playmaking depth, do you think that letting Cincy lead to Sampdoria was that a mistake then in that case?
um, on the face of it, right now, when you see what Cincy did in his first match at Sampdoria, maybe you could
Mm,
argue that. But if you look at it in the long run, where maybe he comes back to enter, maybe next season, he is part of that depth, part of that squad that we need,
mm,
then him going out and finally getting playing time and getting, regular playing time and becoming a real player again, a real fit, smart footballer again, like
mm.
it's not that bad on the face of things. But like, yeah, looking at it right now, but I mean, what's he going to do if he's just sitting on the bench for 75 minutes, 80 minutes every match and not gaining that fitness that he needs because he's not going to get it ahead of Chalanolu, Barella, or Brozovic. So, I mean, that was something that to me was necessary because either you're going to sell him or you're going to bring him back and what he, regains at Sampdoria, his confidence, his fitness, all of that you need. Like, he's not going to get that here. So, it just kind of is what it is with Cincy to me.
The biggest mistake was not buying or getting a substitution for him. I think there was a perfect opportunity to get Sergio Oliveira that went to Roma on loan from Porto, and it was a perfect signing, considering it was a low budget option on a loan. He's someone that's always fit, and he
Mm.
was someone that we needed, or at least someone like him. So if I could pinpoint one problem, I would say the biggest one is, or the main one is, not getting a substitution for Sensi.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was, what a lot of people wanted, but working with the Gosens deal, getting in Caicedo. I don't know how much more time or ideas they had. I know Beppe has always got ideas, but I don't know how feasible it was at that point. I mean,
Yeah.
Oliveira was already gone. I mean, what else are you gonna do? I saw like Zirdan Shaqiri signed for like Chicago Fire in the MLS today. I mean, you could have
Did
tried to
it?
do something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
He was with Lyon just a few days ago.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but he
Oh,
hasn't done anything all season. So
yeah.
if
I
anything,
forgot
that was
about
a
that.
that was a win. That was a win for Lyon because I think Chicago Fire actually even paid a transfer fee. So
wow.
Damn. Yeah,
yes,
banter era legend right there. Folk
But
hero.
Dave,
for I
we
had hopes for
didn't
this
get
guy.
Also trip.
your opinion on Gosens and the signing of Gosens last week or when
Oh
we
yeah.
recorded. So I need that. I need the positivity right now.
I'm sure you guys see me all over Twitter, man. This is a guy that I've always loved. This is a player that once we've committed to the 3-5-2, and you start looking at players not even around the league but all around the world, Gosens is the number one as far as left wing backs, and I've gone back and done some research as well. There's the guy from Dortmund for a couple of years. He was good. Guerrero, I think his name is the Portuguese guy. That's another guy that was a good left wing back. But other than that, the numbers that Gosens is putting in, the work that he puts in on the pitch, up and down the pitch, this guy's a machine. So that's a perfect signing. At the price, at the deal as well is something that is Bepe masterclass. That's something that really, really we needed, especially after watching Vlahovic go to Juve the way he did. So that was kind of a calming blow, and that's something it shows that we're not dead. That's an investment in the future. Before we started recording, I read that we're actually the negotiations with Perisic are actually progressing as well. So can you imagine? That means we might end up with both Gosens and Perisic on the left rotating. So that means that this team is actually improving as opposed to being dismantled like we all scared were afraid of like last summer. So that's very good news for Inter fans, and I'm sure that the Gosens signings it symbolizes that amongst other things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it shows how smart this management is. And if Perisic stays, I think that in a way is a statement of intent from him that he still wants to win more at Inter,
Yeah.
because if you're willing to, step aside or accept the challenge of having the best wingback in the league that's not you, that is younger, that is, the
Hmm.
the hottest prospect. I mean, that 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 you're helping the team and you're also giving yourself a challenge there. I would really
Yeah.
respect that if he did that. And speaking on that news, there was also, I think, a little bit of Brozovic news that, the two sides are still really close. Everyone still seems consensus that's going to go through at some
Yeah.
point.
But I mean,
Um,
but there are still some hints of Barcelona. I don't like that at all. Because we've read several articles of, or they're announcing the Brozo renewal after this match. Oh no, they're gonna announce it after that match. So it's been months that the deal was supposedly almost done or close. So um, I am confident. I'll say still 75 to 80% confident that he stays at Inter, but the fact that it's taking so long to be announced, that tells me that at least there's some doubt there, or at least there's some serious consideration being given to another team. So, um, I mean, I don't like. It's not something that I would like to happen, but do not be surprised if he does slip through our fingers and then you see us end up with Kessie. All right, because we've been working on that. It's not something I want, Risto, but just reading news, we've been working on Kessie for a reason, and of course we're not gonna bring the guy in on high wages to be a bench player. So maybe we've been working on him for that reason, because we're not sure that we're gonna be able to bring Brozo back. So don't be surprised if that happened. Of course, I want us to keep Brozo and bring in Agume, but don't be surprised if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna worry until something comes out about like talks actually breaking down. As long as they're at this point, like I have
Mhm.
full confidence that Inter can do whatever it takes to push it that much more over the line. Maybe they don't want to if they don't have to, but I feel like if it gets to that point that they will, because I mean that is the backbone of that midfield. I do want to get to some more comments because there were some more further down that I wanted to get to. But I
Mhm.
want to give everybody, their fair shake. Interpol, I like he out with the stats. He's a big stats guy over at Serpents of Madonina. Despite the Derby loss, it's important to keep in mind still lead the league in goals scored, goal differential, and fewest losses in the league.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, and that is important. And we could have even more goals and an even bigger goal difference if we were putting in just a couple more chances if
Hmm.
Handanovic had that extra, 6 inches of acceleration or whatever you want to call it, jumping off of him. It could be so much more. But it is what it is. We got Ricky Buzz in the house. What's up? We got Bernard, our finance guy, in the house. What's up?
What's up, Bernard?
He has a question too. Very relevant to something happening in about 15 minutes. Do you guys prefer Milan or Lazio in the Coppa final?
Semi-final, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
some.
Yeah,
semifinal, yeah, yeah.
semi-final.
All right, who's taking it?
Lazio. Fuck them. We don't know them anything. Everyone's saying on the timeline, "Oh, we should get revenge." Fuck that. You want to win the trophy? Do it the easy way. Why do you always have to prove, oh, it's not a real trophy if you don't beat the best? Fuck that. A trophy's a trophy. It's like saying the Mickey Mouse tournament in NBA when lockdown happened. Fuck that.
Mhm.
Lakers
Okay,
got the
you're a
chip.
Lakers fan. Let's not go there.
Yeah. Fuck that. Chip's a chip.
No, I'm not on that boat. I want Milan actually. I'm gonna find one of my mini jerseys and paint my blue stripes red. And hopefully they can do the work and we can see them. I think. Or the semi is still 2 legs, or is it did they change it back to one?
Yeah, it's
It's
two
two
legs.
legs, right? So yeah, that's two more derbies that we get, and of course for personally for enter Twitter member, I want my bragging rights back. So yeah, I want them. Of course, Lazio will probably be the easier opponent, which is not even guaranteed because they played us very tough both matches. But no, I want two more derbies, especially the way the latest one went. Despite the fact that we won it, we lost it. That was a very good derby. That was intense. They had the extracurricular activities. Players were fighting. Players got suspended. Fans were fighting in the stands. I mean, this is what we like about derby. So I'm never gonna pass up on two more of those, especially when I, in my heart, believe that my team is better and we lost by mistake. So yeah, I want two more chances to show them, and then I want to see what they got to say.
Risto.
The two of you made some really great points, but if I had to choose one or the other, I would go with Milan too. Because at the end of the day, none of them would be an easy opponent. Now that Acerbi is back for Lazio and they're a more stable team with him,
Hmm.
Lazio have a really, really good midfield and a very good attack, and Milan doesn't have both. So the chances are that we can beat Milan, especially now that everyone is so revenge mode activated. Bastoni, Chalhanoglu, I don't know, Inzaghi, the whole team, because all of them,
Because Skriniar got upset towards the end of that match, so I'm sure Skriniar would love to get another piece of Theo Hernandez.
and especially
Dumfries. Oh my God.
playing at home both matches,
Yeah,
it
that's crazy.
neutralizes.
So sorry to cut you off. The thing is with those derbies, don't forget your thought. The thing with those derbies is like you always think that okay, after the second derby, no matter how heated it gets or whatever, it's whatever because they're not gonna see each other again for another year. But having the opportunity to probably see each other again in a couple of weeks, that's just crazy. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, but like playing both, matches at the same field, although it neutralizes the advantage, we're still
Mm.
playing some awesome football at Massa. So chances are we have higher chances of winning the match or winning the leg outright. So hopefully, I think we'll go to the final either way. But I want Milan as well.
How about you, Mikey?
Uh, I'm really on the fence. I've watched the last two derbies with two Milanisti from Milan, and it has
Hmm.
not gone well either time. We had the draw, and now this, and I had to sit there and watch them celebrate running through their house, and I don't know. I don't know if we get Milan. I do in the back of my head, I want Milan because I feel like we've been hard done by in the past two derbies. Like I think at least Inter is due, if not already being the best team in that matchup. You're also due because you've had two bad results go against you. So I think they could turn it around. I think I'd take Milan. It would be much more fun. I mean, it would be more memorable either way. You're gonna remember a
Hmm.
semifinal against Milan more than you're gonna remember a semifinal against Lazio. Even
Yeah.
though there are a few storylines with Lazio this season, so
Hmm.
yeah, fuck it, give me Milan, I guess.
Y'all can stress out however you like. I'm gonna sit back while we hammer Lazio like this, and you can get stressed with your Milan shit.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
someone
I,
please clip this when we lose to Lazio like 4-0 both legs.
Oh, stop it.
Minute.
yeah,
Bernard
right.
says he wants Lazio as well to answer his question.
No, he said he wants Milan.
Oh, I thought he said I can't read. I can't read. You know what?
Yeah, so
Um,
Ian, you're definitely outvoted here, buddy. Let's just it's probably in 20
Never
minutes we're
knew.
gonna find out what happens. So we better make sure we wrap up in 20 minutes because I'm not missing 1 minute of the match.
all right, well, we'll go ahead and power through this, and then I want to get some Coppa thoughts about the match yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Interpol Inzaghi's I told you I can't read. Inzaghi's aggressive approach to making wary subs is such a double-edged sword. Sometimes, or early subs, yeah.
Hmm.
Sometimes it works out brilliantly, but when it doesn't, the approach looks dumb. Yeah, but the thing, yeah, he does make earlier subs. We've talked about that before. But
Yeah.
usually, like, I don't know, they aren't subs that make me worry the way that Perisic asked because he had a calf cramp, but Demarco for Perisic, there you can maybe get away with just that, but once you do that, then you bring on Vidal, then you bring on Vecino, you're not asking to win. You're just not. You can do that in some circumstances, but yeah, this is one of the ones where we did get played by it. Mattia talking about Napoli coming up. Napoli away without Inzaghi and Bastoni. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I'm sure we'll get to
Yeah.
that. Comparing Brozovic for Vecino to Icardi for Santon. I think I did that in a group chat, but I did that in a group chat, not in the public, because
Mhm.
I don't know. I felt like I was a little overreactive at that point, but I'm glad someone else was thinking it
Nah, you
too.
spot
You
on, bro.
were.
You're spot on.
I need to see whether I have still those rage tweets that I tweeted after the loss about him and Handanovic. I was
Oh,
so pissed.
But
uh, yeah, Interpol, not worried about it. Then we have Mattia, who is worried about the Brazo renewal. Yeah, that is. I still
this,
think
yeah,
I still think that's gonna be fine. It is what it is. Yeah. So, pretty much, yeah. We'll get to yesterday now. So 2-0 win. It seemed pretty easy at points. It was actually pretty slow at points. Ian, how did it feel? Is it a successful bounce back, or still like looked a little bit like something that needed to be improved on?
I'll be honest, I was studying whilst having the game on the TV, so I just heard the
Mhm.
commentator, so that I can't
Yeah,
really
well,
comment on it. I saw the Dzeko goal. I thought it was a peach. I saw the Sanchez goal. I thought it was a beauty. And I heard Ambrosio made some blocks, saves. Fine with me. Life is good.
Mhm.
yeah, win in all aspects for Ian, I guess. Hristo, bounce back or still something that needs to be improved upon.
I think it's a bounce back for sure because we started off so well, and scoring within the first 2 minutes is a statement that we needed so badly. It's something that we craved for after the Roma match, and if it was a Serie A match instead of a Coppa Italia, then it would have been perfect. But we still have some things to look forward to this weekend. But as a bounce back match, which I think it was nearly perfect because Roma were not threatening, were not threatening Inter or Handanovic's goal. We, I think, cruised, and as Dave said, when you don't have that positivity, which there was a lack of after Milan scored the second goal, and we as fans knew or had an indication too that we were gonna lose that match. It was a complete opposite yesterday. When we scored the first goal, I was like, "There's no way we are considering, more than a goal, even if we consider, a goal." Um, but it was an amazing match, an amazing display. The only downside is that we actually lost Bastoni.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he will be available for Milan, or sorry, for Liverpool. I highly doubt it. But that's the only downside. And now we have seen Skriniar within 10 days as a right center back, a center back, and on the left side. So we keep seeing the progression of Skriniar, and I'm so happy about him and the future that he has at the club.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I know Dave has the third kit this season with Skriniar on the back, and then Skriniar goes and puts up that highlight, the goal line clearance, even though it was offsides, and then he gives
Yeah.
the biggest celebration of any of the goals even that were scored yesterday. I want to get your thoughts on that and the match in general.
Oh, well, first off, I want to talk to Ian, our stats guy, our resident stats guy. I want to know our stats when we have that third kit on, because I don't remember us losing ever. I remember us maybe drawing one, but I think we won every single match we in that kit. So
Whenever
I know.
D'Ambrosio plays and we have the third jersey, we win. That's the only stat that matters.
I didn't say anything about
Yeah.
Ambrosio. I didn't say anything about Ambrosio. You
Yeah.
see, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna get
Never mind.
all right. We're gonna get another stats guy. Okay, but but my thoughts. I'm riding with Risto, man. I felt like this match we came out exactly the way we needed to. It's like it's a matter of like, okay, we lost a match that we felt like we didn't need to we didn't deserve to lose. We had all this pent up anger and frustration, and as Inzaghi mentioned, we're gonna use that frustration and take it out in the Copa match. We scored literally with our first chance that we created. Talk about wasteful. So that's pretty much showing that, okay, we understand that the issue, we understand we're not focused enough, we're not concentrating enough on all of our chances, we waste too much. So first chance, boom, goal. 5 minutes after that, Barella right off the crossbar. And then another couple of minutes after that, we had a corner Skriniar open header, almost scored as well. So those three moments told me, okay, you know what? They came out with the right attitude, and that's exactly what I needed. I was never really worried about Roma. They had a couple instances where Zaniolo had a shot, half chance, I guess I'll say, eventually to Andanovic, who thank God he got down and saved it. Other than that, it was all us, in my opinion. Until Sanchez actually came in and did what we should have done against Milan, got the second goal and sealed the deal. I'm sure at this point it was just a matter of, okay, let's just give old Jose his little farewell too, and let's be nice to him and stuff, because this match was over as far as a competitive standpoint. So yeah, that's definitely the way I wanted the Copa to go. Personally, I did ask for more rotations, and I hate to come beating my own drum. Maybe that would have spared us Bastoni, because I did definitely say, just like we did against Empoli, I want to see Ranocchia in there. I want to see D'Ambrosio. I want to see DeMarco, everybody. That's what I personally would have done. But I understand the reason why Inzaghi did it. We needed a reaction from the first team players, and we used this match to do so. Unfortunately, we did lose Bastoni, because Bastoni is not a small loss. We're gonna make do. We're probably gonna shift either Skriniar there and play De Vrij and Ambrosio, or personally I'll probably try Darmian there. But it hasn't been practiced enough, so I doubt it's gonna happen. So it's likely to be De Vrij, but D'Ambrosio and Skriniar, with Skriniar playing on the left against Napoli. And as far as Liverpool goes, I'll go as far as saying that I really don't care whether he plays it or not. If it's not 100%, I wouldn't play him at all. Because I'm very competitive, as you guys know. I'm always about, okay, let's go, try to win, let's give our best. But realistically speaking, we were already big underdogs for facing Liverpool, and without Barella and Bastoni, it makes it even that much tougher. So let's just play the players that are available and that are fit. Let's give our best, and our best is most likely not going to be enough. And then let's keep it moving. We have other priorities anyway, so if that means that if Bastoni's injury means that we get to focus on the priorities sooner, so be it. I was reading about Gosens earlier. He's coming back very soon, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, for sure. I know Bastoni, like everything that's been said today, has been that he is looking to try to come back for the first leg of Liverpool, which
Mm.
I agree that like if he's not 100%, like even if he's like 90, 95%, no, there's no reason. So yeah, I would save him, but that would be a good sign because that means he would be back for Sassuolo, which they can always cause Inter an issue. So I think it's 100% he's gone for Napoli. There's also the issue of his
Suspension.
suspension. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think that's going to get appealed. I don't know if anything's going to happen. Maybe they knock it down to one match.
To one, yeah.
Yeah, you never know with the Italian federation because
Can we just talk about the suspension for a second?
oh, let's put our
Because
tinfoil hats on.
no, it's just bullshit, man. Bonucci threatens an Inter employee and chokes him or whatever
Literally
happened.
puts his hands on him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
says he's going to
Nothing,
kill him. Yeah.
nothing. I can't remember. I saw the tweet, but like some other stuff happened. They all got suspensions. Bastoni, what did he say? He said the ref did a bad job, or did he say "fuck you"? Shit like that. 2 game
I don't
There's
know
suspension.
nothing
exactly what he
worse than
said.
Bonucci or Chiellini says to a referee on a daily
Mm.
basis in
Exactly.
pleasantries.
Exactly. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, okay, I guess yes, seniority because they're so much older. That's a big thing in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you even see it with players. Like when they're really older, they get more respect and get away with more shit. But
Yeah.
like, dude, he said "fuck you," which everyone says every
Yeah.
time. I don't even think in Italy it's that big of a deal to say "cazzo" to someone. It's it's just
Yeah.
mind-boggling, man. It's I don't know.
Personally, like it's not like I want to make sure, like I said, it's not, I don't condone it. Especially if you're off the pitch, you're not playing or whatever. The game is over. It's not going to change anything. Same for Lotaro going after Theo Hernandez. Even if it was provoked as well. Um, I don't condone acting a fool like that, but the inconsistency is shocking. I think Nima had a tweet. I think that's the tweet you're talking about, Ian, where he brought up Bonucci. He brought up Theo Hernandez, who actually he got a straight red for violent behavior, for a violent
Yeah,
tackle.
that's
He got
automatically 2 matches.
that's
I've
usually
seen. Yeah, in
the
the rule
the
book it
football.
says 2 matches.
The football I watched, the rule book, I know. I thought that's automatically 2 matches. I don't know how it's one match. Um, I don't know, man. The inconsistency is there, and of course, Roma fans got some gripe as well or maybe if it's just bad luck. I don't know what you want to call it. They seem like they're always getting hard done by as well. But it's just the inconsistency with me, man. But this little lack of discipline that we saw against Lazio and that we saw again today, we need to get a grip on that because it wouldn't happen last year under Conte. So we're all happy about Limone. Limone is like a friend. Limone is our buddy. Limone plays with us. He's like a
Limone
player.
needs to kill someone.
There
I
has to
want.
be discipline. Yeah, this team is showing there's a hint of lack of discipline. Like you lose your head. That cost us a match against Lazio, and
It's
we
cost
saw
us Barella against Liverpool now.
Costas Barella against Liverpool as well. You know what? So this little indiscipline issues it needs to be fixed. So I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I see it and I notice it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just found the tweet. So Theo got a straight red for a bad foul and provokes the crowd, 1 match suspension. Zaniolo straight red for insulting referee, 1 match. Bonucci physically assaults and threatens to kill an Inter staff, 0 matches. Bastoni no red card and insults referee, 2 match suspension. I don't
and
know.
then
I don't
yeah,
know.
Inzaghi got a suspension there too. I don't know what he did for that one. I
Zag got
guess
the
it was
fine as well.
Yeah, I guess it was among the
Definitely.
same type of conduct, I would imagine, saying something to a ref. Um, but yeah, not a good look. Everyone does it, but not an excuse. You know, you need to be the better team. You don't want to put yourself in that unnecessary risk of losing players. Um,
Yeah, I
but
mean, and honestly, like you said, we always like to put our little 10-4 hats on. Like I got mine on. That's got to be something when we sign a player. You know, we gotta like whoever our signings are for, let's say the summer mercado or the winter mercado. We have to bring them all in together, bring them into a room, sit them, play them a tape, and explain to them, hey, listen, you're playing for Inter in Italy. Whatever you do is gonna be your if there whatever you do, whatever your violation, you're gonna get the maximum punishment. If there's something 50-50, it's gonna go against you. You have to I mean, personally, I would do it. Like, listen, historically, this league, that's how they treat us. So you need to know that. And Dumfries could have used something like that. And maybe we wouldn't have that penalty against Juve. You know, because
yeah,
I feel like it was a naive penalty from Dumfries. He's just playing ball, you know, but he doesn't know that the slightest little chance they get to give him a chance, they will give him a chance. But yeah,
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I'm not sure why that isn't a thing now, where you're like, all right, can you deal with extra circumstances that you don't have at your club now that you wouldn't have at most clubs that you would go to? Can you deal with that? Like,
yeah,
that should be like a screening, like interview question. Like, come on now.
yeah. Test the mentals if they got the mental for Inter.
Yeah. So I guess we move along now to Napoli.
I just have a fun fact. Since Pastor Dave appointed me the stats man, I've been doing some research. 6 matches we played in our third kit this year. 1-0 win against
He
Torino.
he he
2-0
did
win
it.
against Roma. 3-0 win against Roma. 3-2 win against Napoli. 2-0 win versus Empoli and 6-1 win versus Bologna. 6 matches, 6 wins.
What I tell y'all, what I tell,
Can we just
listen,
wear that for the rest of the season?
listen. Okay, I just remember every time they got this kid on, it's a victory. I do still remember a
16 to
draw
3
as
goal
well.
difference. 16 to 3.
That's crazy. Like this is like our special jersey, man.
I can remember most years the third kit, like when we have it on, we're like, oh god. Like I remember
Oh,
the
not today.
the like gray kind of slate. It was like the
Oh, with the
play.
cross.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
play on the red cross one. That one I don't think we won in. I remember DeMarco scored his screamer for Parma with that one on.
mm.
That one was.
Remember the Sprite?
I have the Sprite. I love the
We
Sprite.
know Mikey. We know
I love
Mikey.
the
We know you
Sprite.
got the.
We lost. We lost to Southampton away. We lost to like Apoel Beersheva away in that
Hey,
one
at least Inter legend Gabigol. He scored his only Inter goal, I think, in the Sprite kit. So
against
I guess
Bologna. Yes, I woke up at 6 a.m. for that one.
take
Stat
that for
dreams
data.
are made of. Apparently,
Okay,
Statman Ian made a
Smiley right
mistake.
here. Smiley says we lost to Real in the third kit.
Yes. That's the one I remember. We lost. Either that's the one negative result, either a loss or a draw. But yeah, if we
Yeah, but
did
that's
play
not the
Real,
league. I don't count that.
yeah, I guess in the league that doesn't count. That's right, Smiley. Take that.
Yeah.
Take that.
So Napoli next. Osimhen's gonna be back. Did you see? I just want to kick it off with this. Did y'all see Osimhen's remarks about like that injury, like what he said about like what happened? That
No.
Let me
okay,
pull
so
the
of
tweet
course
up.
he heads Skriniar, and he said that once he hit like his face hit Skriniar's head, he heard his face explode. Like word for that's
Yeah.
what he said.
God
Like
damn, bro. I mean, I'm scrimmage, so I can't even picture this stuff, bro. Like it's.
yeah.
I mean, you went against the cyborg. I'm
That
sorry.
guy's got
I'm
a
glad.
hard head. I don't want
Uh,
to know what that man's head's made out of.
technically, he should have been. He's the one that should have been the victim because Osterman was the one actually heading into him. So his head was
It was pretty
like
still, yeah.
still exactly, and it's still that's crazy. I mean, it's a hard object, man.
Yeah. That man is a unit. But he's back. Of course Bastoni will be out.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um last time we played Napoli, we were missing De Vrij. Ranocchia played in the center of defense, so we didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the full back three for that match either. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could argue that missing Bastoni is a bigger miss because he's, equal parts center back, playmaker, striker. Like he does way too much in this team, so that's going to be a big miss. But I'm really, this could be clipped and I could be laughed at, but I'm not really too worried. I know I saw a stat, I don't know, Ian may be able to verify this, but um, that Inzaghi has not won in Naples. Um, so that would be, that would be something of a little bit of a red flag, but
Yeah.
I don't worry too much about it. We got the bounce back win against Roma. The last time we lost, we ran off however many wins it was after Lazio.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it's going to be something like that?
Personally, I'm not as confident, but I do feel like we're not gonna lose. That's one thing. If we look at the form, of course, they're starting to fall back into it. What happened, Mikey? But yeah, if we
Uh,
look at the form, it seems like they're starting to pick up form. They had Osimhen. Osimhen finally scored. Um, I think it was like his second or third match back. Um, they're looking like they're ready. They struggled a bit against Venezia, but they got the job done. I'm sure they'll be ready. They have a full team. They have Koulibaly will be back. They have Anguissa back, so they have a full squad ready to play us with Osimhen. So I think that the fact that we are missing Bastoni is going to be an issue um, as far as going forward, But defensively, we have the players, I think, to cover it up. We're probably going to play Skriniar there, like we mentioned, De Vrij in the middle, and Dombrosio on the right, which should be fine. But it's a match that's going to be won and lost in the midfield, in my opinion. It's going to be depending on whether our midfield could outperform theirs. Um, I personally have been on record in saying that I think theirs is the best midfield in the league when it's healthy and is fit, which is debatable in comparison to ours. But having Barella in the
Lazio as
form that
well.
he seems to be in already.
No, no, no. I just said Lazio is on. I mean, it's
Okay,
starting,
okay,
and
okay. I thought you said he scored. You see, even Ian thought
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I was like, what? Because I've got it
What's
right
wrong with
here,
this
and they're
guy?
just
I'm
like
like,
doing
this
the
match even started
handshakes.
yet. Yes, but it just made me lose my train of thought anyway. But the Napoli match, yeah, I feel like won and lost in the midfield. If Barella could carry on his form that he was in against Roma, he was the star of the match for me. Barella, Brozo, and Hakan, if they can outperform Anguissa, Zielinski, and Fabian
Yeah,
Luis,
yeah.
Fabian Ruiz, then that's when the match will be won and lost. And of course, Lautaro seems to always gets ready for those matches. So I expect him to get a goal. Let's see what happens, man. It's gonna be a close call for me. But one thing for sure, I don't feel like we're gonna lose. So at the end of the day, I feel like we'll be satisfied with the result we leave the São Paulo with. Happy as hell if we manage to win and extend our lead, but content if we just don't lose and we still have the match in hand to go and push our lead up if we need to.
Yeah, yeah. Keeping Napoli at arm's length with a draw even would be a great result. And depending
Yeah,
on, what Milan does tonight, maybe they go 120 minutes. Maybe, Cincy can do us a
yeah.
favor at Sampdoria this
Sampdoria,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we'll get some kind of result out of it. But Lautaro does need a goal. He has not scored since the 17th of December against Salernitana. So he needs a goal. Yeah, needs him a goal. At least in the league. I don't know if he scored. I don't remember if he scored in the Coppa match, but needs a goal. Yeah.
Krista, what do you think about the Napoli match?
Yeah, I was gonna go around.
I mean, it's gonna be an interesting match considering both teams have more to lose than they have to gain, and we have seen, the Italian managers, coaches, whatever, be more wary about those kind of matches. Especially as I said previously, it's a six-pointer match. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game, a goal or two at most. And I think we'll win at least 1-0. I want to see Lautaro score after like what 2 months, as you said.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a nice comeback, and especially a guy that needs or is mainly playing on a morale boost and confidence.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 years with Conte, I think we won both times in the Sao Paulo. I can't remember, but I think that's what it was.
I'll look it up.
Um, yes, thank you. But yeah, I can't remember a loss in the Sao Paulo since maybe that last year under Spalletti. I could be wrong there, but I don't know. That place used to worry me, when Sorry Ball was full swing down there. But I mean, we know Spalletti. He is what he is. He's having a good season. This could be the year he tries to pull it out, but I mean, with the experience we have with him, it's usually around this time that it's the fadeaway starts.
Yeah, but it's also important to mention that after Napoli, we pretty much would have gone through all our tougher matches, in my opinion. Except
Yeah,
for Juve, we would have Juve. We play Juve in April, but we already played Atalanta. We played Milan. We would have already played Napoli, Lazio. So probably Roma. As you see, Roma is not much of a match for us this season. It's a team that I feel like we should easily beat again. So other than that Napoli match, man, we should be poised to have another one of those runs that we had earlier in the season. So let's see.
yeah, yeah. Because okay, so we've been looking at this stretch for probably a couple of months now, where it's we beat Lazio, we draw with Atalanta. You can deal with that. Lose to Milan, you don't want that. If you beat Napoli, that stretch I would consider, pretty much a success. You never want to lose a
Yeah,
derby, but
yeah,
that I think that would still be a success. We'd still be on top of the table. And I mean, I think all of us were like, yeah, like as long as you're within 2 points of the top, like we were kind of worst
exactly.
case scenarioing it. And I mean,
Hmm.
that could still be what happens, but you win that match, you're in great shape because then it's Sassuolo, Genoa, Coppa, Salernitana, Liverpool return leg, Torino, Fiorentina, then the Juve match, then Verona, Spezia, Coppa, Roma. Like, I mean, it's maybe one tougher match every week or two instead of like having a tough match like every few days.
Yeah, every 3 days, literally. That's where we've been at.
Oh no, but yeah, I'm still confident. I'd take a draw, but I'm thinking a win, maybe a 2-1. Something really cagey. I think it's gonna be, one of those matches where neither team wants to lose. So I'm expecting not quite as easy as the last match against Napoli, where I think we were kind of surprised by the team a bit.
Hmm.
That was a very very frantic game at times too. All the goals flying in. Insigne almost scoring, Mertens almost scoring. It was a crazy match, but I'm confident. I'm not too worried. But we're pushing an hour here. I know Milan and Lazio have started up, and we want to get to preying on their downfall. Um, so yeah, does
Can I
anybody
just
have any
can I just get a
remarks?
few words
Yeah.
in? All right, so Statman Ian. Since Conte was appointed, we won in Naples 3-1. We won 1-0. We drew 1-1, and that's it from what I can see. We haven't lost there in the 3 games that we played since Conte came to Inter, which is like 3 years. We haven't lost there in 3 years. They obviously had what Gattuso, Spalletti, and Ancelotti there before, even after Sarri. So the team obviously had a big turnaround. Um, Honestly, I think we can win. It's not impossible. Spalletti, we know what he's capable of during his time here at the Mazza. We know how shaky he can be. I think we could get a positive result. Second thing, Mikey, you said something about Inzaghi not winning in Naples.
Yeah, that's what I had seen. I'm just repeating what I've seen.
Inzaghi drew, lost 4-1, lost 2-1, lost 1-0, lost 3-1, and lost 5-2.
Ouch.
So we will see. albeit it was with the Lazio side, not with the Campioni d'Italia Inter, but still, we will
Yeah,
see.
I mean, he started off on a good note, beating them, at home. I think that was a good note to start on. I mean, of course, there were extenuating circumstances. We talk about Anguissa, who I think got injured in that match. Of course, Osimhen got injured in that match. I think they were missing someone else. But we were also, of course, missing De Vrij. We had Ranocchia, but now we're missing Bastoni. There are just a lot of storylines going into this match that could tip it one way or another for me.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anybody else? Final remarks on anything? Even Liverpool, if you want to be looking far ahead. Risto. Oh, he's pointing upwards to Ian. I guess he wants him to outro this.
Corporate outro time. If no one wants to say anything else.
Ah,
All right, let's wrap it up.
yeah. Let's get it.
Oh, you're not gonna do the big screen again?
I was trying not to kick you out first again. Let's
not
see.
again.
Yeah. All right. Here you go. 2, 1, go.
Doesn't matter because I'm too good. So thank you for watching us live or listening on our various streaming platforms. Check us out on Twitter at BOTW Podcast. We are also on Instagram at BOTW Podcast, on Facebook at Brothers of the World Podcast. All our other links are in our link tree in the bios of these social medias. Thank you for 150 subscribers on YouTube. Yes, 150 now. Who knew? All our personal Twitters are linked in the Twitter bio. Any sponsorships or collaborations, IFTV, I know you're watching. Hit us up in the DMs. You can also write to me. And with all that, thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening later.